Hello good people, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and today we're going to be learning HTML, and we are going to be learning HTML attributes, tags, and everything that you need to know about HTML so that you can start. If you are new to web development, then this video is going to give you a brief introduction on what you're going to be learning and experiencing through all your journey. I hope you have already watched our website development roadmap, that is the front end roadmap and also the back end roadmap. But if you are starting, my advice is for you is to start with the front end, and then after learning and gaining skills on the front end side, then now you can dive to the back end side. Enough of my voice, and let's dive into learning what is HTML and its importance. Now you are wondering, what is HTML? HTML is an abbreviation of hypertext markup language. Just for simplification, understand it as a skeleton of the website. Now the skeleton is simply what you see in the website. But don't worry, enough of that. Let's see exactly what it means by saying it is the skeleton. Now, right now, I have opened my code editor. In our case, I'm going to use VS Code, but you can use any code editor. The results will be the same. And now I'm going to go to files, and I'm going to open folder here, and then I'm going to create a folder. Just going to call it HTML tutorial, like that, and then press enter. And you can see here the folder name is HTML tutorial, and then you can select folder, and then on opening you see this a welcome pop-up here. You can close that and also that, and then now you're going to have this section here and also another section here. So here what you're supposed to do is creating a new file here, and you can call it anything, any name. You can call it pizza.html, yourname.html, but it must end up with .html so that it tells the code editor that it is a HTML file that you're creating. For my case, I'm just going to use index.html, not html, like that, and then I'm going to press enter, like that, and then I'm just going to close this section here by just clicking on that file there, and now you can see that I have only the rest of the section to type my code. So I'm just going to save, and to save we're going to press Ctrl S, and in Mac you're going to use Command S. So I'm just going to close to control that, and then I'm just going to exit. And then now for us to view what we are creating, that is the website, we need a browser, and in this case I'm going to be using a Chrome browser. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to folders where I have created folder. So it is right here, in here, and then I can look for my folder here. You can see it, HTML tutorial, and then I can open it, and you can see now inside it we have now the file that we have created in the code editor, that is index.html. So what you're going to do is just opening it, and I'm going to open it, and it will open by Chrome browser by default, because it is what I use in most of the time, and it is the better one. And if you are using some like Firefox, it will open with Firefox, but that doesn't have a great impact. Now you can see that in our browser you can see that there's nothing. It is a white page, which means that in our code editor or inside our file index.html we have not created anything. Now let's start with HTML elements. Now you are wondering what is an element, but before we dive into what is HTML elements, let me show you what we can do with HTML. Now don't worry about the code, but I'm just going to explain everything. So I'm just going to type a h1 like that, and then I'm going to press enter. You can see that this is the opening of the tag and this is the closing of the tag. Let me create a space there, and then now this is the opening and this is the closing of the tag. And now inside here I'm just going to type a name, like let me say HTML tutorial, like that, and then I control and I save. And then now if I come to our browser and refresh, you can see HTML tutorial, and this is a HTML tag and it is a heading. This h1 you're going to be using them for headings. Now I'm going to copy this one like that, and then I'm going to paste it below. I'm going to paste that one, and I'm going to paste it again like that. And then now what I'm going to do in this second one, I'm just going to remove h1 and I'm going to replace it with h2, and also the crossing tag like that, h2, and the third one I'm going to replace it with h3, and on this side h3. And then now I control and I save, and then if I refresh, you can see that there is no any change in our browser, and that is because we have already saved it in the index.html inside code editor, but when it comes to the browser we have not refreshed. So to refresh, you're just going to place that one, and now you can see that this one is the first one, which is the h1, and this is the h2, and this is the h3. Now you can understand, and now as you can see, our HTML, the font size is bigger than our h2, and h2 is bigger than h3, which means the font size is decreasing as you go down from h1 to h2 to h3. Now you're not going to be using this each and every day. What you're going to be what you need to be to understand is h1 to h6, they are mostly used in headings, subtitles, and also titles. But if maybe let's assume you want to create a paragraph inside your website, what you're going to do is coming to your code editor and you're going to create a paragraph, and that is you're going to type p, and as you can see the code editor is creating is informing you and or trying to ask you, do you want to create a paragraph? So you're just going to press enter like that, and then now you can see that we have already created, the code editor already creates our opening tag of the paragraph and the closing tag of the paragraph. So we're going to write something here. So I'm just going to type lolem and I'm going to press enter, and then don't worry about this, you can just do that. Let me show you how to, and then you can control and you can save. And then now if you come to our browser and refresh, you can see now our line is here. But let's assume we want to break this line such that it stops running from this side of the website to the end. We want it maybe to get to at this point, and then it jumps to a new line. What you're going to do is come to our code editor, and you can see here we can type something called line break, and then we're going to press enter. No, I have a Copilot running, that's why it is doing that. So you're just going to line break like that, and then you're going to copy that. Just going to copy that, and then here you can also insert one, and also here you can also insert another, and then control and save. And then if we come to our browser and we hit refresh, you can see now our paragraph is well organized. So as for now, we have already learned about headings from H1 to H6 and also paragraphs. Let's dive in to if we want to add an image into our website. So let's learn how to add an image into our website. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to open this section here where we created our index.html file, and as you can see now, I don't have any image right here, but I need an image here so that we can create a HTML tag for image, and then you're going to browse it through the browser. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to go to my folder, and I can look for an image. I don't know if I have one somewhere here. I'm just looking for a simple one for demonstration. I'm just going to use one. Let me use this one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy. I don't even know where it went. Oh, here it is. Just going to copy. Going to copy the image. Okay, I'm going to copy that image, and then I'm going to go back to my documents and find the folder that we created our HTML tutorial, and you can see the folder here. I can open it, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to paste my image, and as you can see now, free delivery man riding a scooter. And then the magic happens here. When I open my code editor, you can see that our image is now in our code editor. So now we want this image to be shown into our website. So let me show you how. We are going to come here, and below this paragraph, I'm just going to create an img, and I'm going to press enter. And then now you can see here we have an src, that is the source, and then inside it we have curly bracket. You have somewhere now where we are going to type, and here we are going to type inside the src, we're going to type the name of the image, and since our name of the image is free whatever, and you can see that the code editor, it is already telling us, is it this document that you want to show in your website. So I'm just going to click it, and you can see, and now here you're going to see an alt, and that is a description, such that if this image fails to load in the browser, what will be shown there. So I'm going to say to our description, I'm just going to say it is an image like that, and then you're going to close to control save, and then go to our browser and refresh, and you can see now we have our image here. So let's just assume that we don't have this and we don't have this source, so that you can see what is the work of the description. So I'm just going to cut that one, and then I'm going to control and save, and also come and refresh. Now you can see that we have an image, but since it is not loading, we are seeing the description of that image. That description means that here is an image, and the image that is supposed to be here, its name is image. So that is how we write our headings from H1 to H6, and this is the paragraph. And now let's assume you want to put a button, maybe a button to navigate to somewhere, or you want just a button, maybe such that when it is clicked, a form is submitted. So what you're going to do is you're just going to come to our code editor, and we can delete all this like that, and now we can create a button. So we're just going to type button like that, and then inside a button, and you can see that a button, we have an opening tag and a closing tag. So maybe let's say it's a submit button that we want, so you're just going to type submit button, and then you're going to control save, and then when you come to our browser and refresh, you can see that everything disappeared because we deleted it, but we can see that we have a button here which is a submit button. So right now it is not doing anything because, as I told you, that this is HTML, and first of all, it looks a little bit ugly, and we cannot style it because we are not learning about CSS today. But when you learn CSS, I will show you how to style this button so that it looks more appealing. Now we are also going to learn JavaScript so that we can add interactivity, such that when this button is clicked, it is going to perform a function. Don't worry about that, we are going to get there. So let's assume we want to create a link to somewhere. So I'm just going to type a link. So, and a link is described by an a tag like that. Then you press enter, and then now you can see a href, and this one, it is where it is the destination of where you want this link to take the user when it is clicked. So that you can understand, I'm just going to I will create another folder, and that folder I will call it that file. I'm going to create another file, and that file I'm going to call it test.html like that. And then inside, in the name of this link will be test link like that. And then I'm going to control save, and then I'm going to open this section here, and I'm going to create that folder, that file, that the name is testlink.html like that. And then I'm going to press enter like that, and maybe so that we can know we are inside the testlink.html, we're just going to write h1, and you can say welcome to testlink like that, and then you can control save like that, and then we close. So when we click on this link, it is going to take us to this testlink.html. So let's see. So we're going to come to our browser, refresh, and then you can see now we have the test link here, which is the link. So when we click it, it is taking us to testlink.html. Now let's assume we want another link inside testlink.html that is going to take us back to our index.html. So we are going to come to our code editor, and inside testlink.html we are going to create another link by a tag, pressing a like that, and then now the destination that we want to go when we click this one, we want to go back to index.html, and you can see it here. So I'm just going to click it like that, and then the text inside here will be go back, will be go back to, yes, we say just say go back, and you control and save, and now you can see that we have the link here. So if we click on this link, we are just going to go back into the index.html, and then if you want to go to testlink.html, we're just going to click testlink.html. but if you noticed you can see that we are shifting from testlink to index.html and vice versa in the same web page. So let's assume we want to, when we click or when we want to shift to testlink.html, we are going to open another window here, and that window will be now our testlink.html. So what you're going to do, we're just going to go back to our index.html, and then you go back to our code editor, and then inside this, we go to inside index.html. Inside now the link that is taking us to the testlink.html, we're just going to add something called target, and you can press enter, and then now target, you can see blank option here. So I'm just going to click on that, and when you put target to be blank, it is going to open this test link into another window page. Let's see. So just going to control save, and you can come to our browser, and then you can flash it, and then when we click test link, you can see that it has opened another window page, and that is testlink.html. but when you go back to index.html, you can see that it is still changing, it is still shifting, but in the same window page, and that is because inside our code editor, inside the test link, that is the link with the destination of index.html, we did not put a target. So that is a small information and tactics on how you can use HTML to know and to insert everything that you need in your web page. So hope this video helps you to learn and to understand what is HTML, and you don't have to understand everything at start, and some things you're going to be understanding them as you proceed. So see you on the next project, where we are going to be learning about CSS, so that we can be able to learn on how we can style all these buttons, test links, and also these H1s, so that we can change their colors, their font sizes, and etc. So see you next time.